Hopefully we can get some reef fish today, some snappers, some trigger fish. So we're just gonna use a variety of cut pogies and some squid on some knocker rigs and see if we can get in some fish. Sun hasn't even come up yet. It's a beautiful day out. So let's get to fishing. I'm gonna put me one of my hand-tied trigger fish rigs down there with some cut pogie and a couple bank sinkers and see if I can get something. A lot of bait thieves down there. Oh yeah, I got one. Instant. Oh, dang. Dang. Big fish. That's a good one. Look at this. What'd you get? I don't know. I hope it's something to keep. Sometimes they don't want to hit something with a real big hook. You see they immediately hit this small hook. Sometimes you got to finesse it down, but I'd much rather fight them on a bigger rod just to get them up. But I'm not quite for sure what this is just yet. I hope it's a keeper of some sort. I want to bring some fish home. It's a trigger fish. That's a good one, yeah. Look. Beautiful trigger fish. Look at this. See if he'll keep. Oh yeah, I think he'll be a keeper, don't you? That's a pretty fish there. Yeah, that's a keeper. Circle hook right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous trigger fish. Gray trigger fish. Check this out. Finally got something I can take home and eat. You're only allowed one per person on gray trigger fish, but what a beautiful fish. Look at that. 17 inches to the fork length. Absolutely gorgeous. This is one of the finest tasting fish on the reef, in my opinion. I love them. This is a Penn Slammer 3500 DX with 20-pound braid on a St. Croix 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod. So it's light tackle, but it usually does pretty good for these fish. And then I just hand tie these trigger fish rigs. It's like my pompano rig, but a little beefed up and just 4-aught circle. And I attach, since I don't have any solid 4-ounce bank sinkers, I just put two 2 ounces on there and it worked just fine. So it just came out to a deeper spot, hooking up a whole pogie, fishing about 100 feet. That's not a nibble. A little bit better one. Gotta get it off the bottom. No, most of the time you can just kind of flip them over the boat. They'll float. It's just that initial fight. You gotta get them off the bottom. He might. Pretty fish. That's a pretty fish. Finally got a keeper American red snapper. That's a beautiful fish. Colors on them are awesome and they taste delicious. So let's get them on ice and try to get some more. So all I'm doing is taking this pogie and cutting it out. I have this 5-inch sword utility knife. They're cool enough to sponsor the channel, so if you want to check out their products, there'll be links down in the video description. But I just cut that tail off. It kind of prevents most of your tangles that you get when fishing in heavy current with a wide bait like this. And all I do is go hook it just like that, and we're ready to go again. Time to drop the good old high-low rig with some cut pogie. You want to pick up a fish this way. These fish are being skittish. I'm hooked up with something. Ooh, something decent. Get up off the bottom, 100 feet down. Come on. It'd be nice if it was a beeliner or something. There's a lot of sharks on this reef too. That's a big beeliner. Look at that.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, that's a good eating right there. I love those. I'll take those over red snapper.
Yeah.
That's a big beeliner. This is a vermilion snapper. Delicious eating fish. Look at it. These things taste so good. They only have to be 10 inches long. This one definitely surpasses that mark. So he had a piece of cut pogie on my high-low rig. So I used a cut piece of menhaden last time for that beeliner, but I'm gonna put on the squid tentacle just to change it up a little bit. There we go, 2 squid tentacles. I like to get another beeliner. Here goes the squid down. have something. Oh, fish on. Dang. They don't want to be pulled away from their home, do they? Oh, get up here. I do love some light tackle reef fishing. Probably one of my favorite ways to fish out here. Because a fish, it's like going to the grocery store, and a very expensive grocery store, but fun and fresh. This might be a trigger fish. No, it's a beeline. 2 beeliners.
Wow, 2 of them.
Heck yeah. Alrighty, 2 beeliners on the high-low rig. And both of those are keepers, so they're going in the cooler. Heck yeah, see if we can stack up on these delicious jokers. Let's throw them in the cooler. Fighting you hard on the light tackle. Let's see, I'll let you know when we start seeing color. Almost, oh, there it is. Yeah, first beeliner, huh? All right, Dad, with this first beeliner. And those are phenomenal eating. What do you end up eating, a pogie?
Pogie.
We put the big tackle away and it's just kind of getting some groceries now. So there we go, boom. All right, we're dropping back down. We each put a piece of squid on one hook and a pogie on the other, a cut piece. There's a chance of catching vermilion snapper, which are beeliners, red snapper, triggerfish, mangroves, tom tates. You never know what you're gonna pull up fishing this way. I just drop it down to the bottom. Once I know I'm at the bottom, I reel up just to where my line's tight. And now it's a waiting game. And coming up. All right, let's see. There it is. Nice beeliner. Bring that joker in there. Nice, that's a good one. That's some good eating right there. Very good eating. So there you go. It's like they nibble, 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 and then they take it down. Ugh. I don't want to get stuck on my motor. Dang. I have a pretty tight drag, so what I'm doing, I'm kind of bowing to it like that when it decides to pull, just so I don't pull that hook out of its mouth with this braid. Oh, get up here, buddy. I don't know what it is. I may have 2 again. Pretty heavy. The water's not super clear like it normally is, so you can't see them 30 feet down. It's got this green hue to it, but that is a red beeliner. Yep. They just fight hard. These ones have some shoulders on them. We'll make a few more drops and then we're gonna head in. So we filled up our cooler pretty good with some fish. I don't like to freeze too many fish, so we have plenty for all of us to eat. We'll see if we can pick up a few more with these. Oh, finally. Took a while to get them fired up, but finally hooked up again. This is literally like fishing roulette. You never know what you're gonna pull up off of there. And they all taste pretty dang good. Yeah. Man, they pull hard on this rod. Nice beeliner. That's a nice one. Look at that. Spit up my pogie. Man, that thing, look, it's as long as my arm is. Man, what a good one. And that circle hook in the perfect spot. Oh, he's going on ice. Going in our nice icy salt bath here before we leave. I like to fill up my cooler with ice and then this salt water with my raw water pump. And it makes a perfect brine for these fish. My screen's probably real dirty, but I'm just putting on this little piece of cut bait of pogie. You can do cigar minnows, fresh cut bait, pinfish, or whatever. And then on the bottom, I still have some more of the pogie on there. He didn't eat it all, so I'm gonna leave that there. But I'm just dropping it down, wait until that weight fills the bottom, and then holding my line tight. And it usually doesn't take long to get bit. So it's on the bottom. I reel in till I can kind of feel it. There we go. I can kind of feel it rise up, then I set it back down on the bottom again and just hold tight and wait till something bites it. And we're circle hooks. See, I'm getting a bite right now. You let them put a bend in your rod. Oh, see? And then you just start reeling and put pressure and the hook sets themselves. You don't have to go yanking it like you're using a big old worm hook, fishing a curly tail worm or anything. Just start reeling and put pressure on it. Bring this joker up. It's maybe my last fish. It's another beeliner here. 13-inch fish. Time to go in the ice bath. But that's the last little bait that I'm using. The dad has one more set of cut bait that he's going to drop down, and maybe he can finish the day off on a fish as well, like I just did. So I was happy with the fish that we've caught. Filled up the cooler with some really fresh tasting organic meat. Expensive organic meat, but it is good. All right, that was on your last drop too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He just hooked up. We had to get a tangle out of his rod tip with that braid, but man, that sucker's digging down, isn't it? It's fun pulling them up from 100 feet. Even if they're not, you know, 50-pound fish, these are incredibly fun. And like I said, you never know what it's going to be. So what do you think this is? Call it before you see it.
Beeliner.
You think it's a beeliner? Yeah, pretty high odds, considering that's what we've been catching the past half hour. Oh, big beeliner too. That's a way to finish it off. I would be happy with that as my last fish of the day. That's a good one. Hold that sucker up. That's a nice beeliner. This one right here is a solid keeper, so extremely happy with that. We'll throw that one on ice, and we're going to go ahead and head in. So we're all pretty happy with that, even though we only landed one trigger fish that was legal, and then one legal red snapper. Dad did catch some that were just under, but man, we're happy with that haul of fish. That is awesome. So these are going to go, like I said, in an ice brine with salt water so they can stay fresh as we head back to the ramp. I'm just filling this up with some salt water from my raw washdown pump. And that's going to be a nice slushy ice bath. That's one thing that you don't want to skimp on, and that's bait and ice, but especially ice for your catch, because you already spent the time to come out here and you want to respect your catch as well. So make sure they don't suffer. Make sure they stay fresh. Well, there we go. Put my box back in there. We'll be good to go for the boat ride home. Nice and calm headed back in. It was a whole lot different coming out this morning. So we got a nice following sea. It'll be a nice easy ride. All right, we're almost home. Woo. Back in the pass. All right, we are back in. Hey, so we made it back to the boat ramp. That was awesome. Very fun fishing. Got a nice cooler of fish. I'm glad Dad was able to get out on one.
Well, as you see, I'm actually back home, back in the backyard. So I wanted to focus on loading the boat up on a busy day so we didn't have anybody waiting behind of us. So, boat ramp etiquette's a big thing. I try to be good about it. I know a lot of people aren't, but I hope y'all enjoyed that footage. It was pretty fun being able to get out on the Gulf. It's been nice and flat. So the red snapper bite is pretty bad right now on a lot of the nearshore reefs. And that's mainly because, first off, pretty much everybody can get out there and fish for them, so they do get pressured. Second off, it's really hot. We need this water to cool down. That closer reef bite will pick back up once that water cools down a little bit. It's still real hot, so those fish like to move out deeper. Sometimes you can leave that big stuff at home and fish with that light tackle and still fill up the cooler like we did. Maybe next time you get out there, you can fill up your cooler and have some fresh fish to take home. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already. Really helps the channel to grow, and we're growing fast. It's awesome to see. I want to thank the good Lord up above for everything he does for us, and we'll see you later.